and welcome everyone. My name is Fleur and this is a half-hour Yin and a meditation session. This is Pip the cat, who I hope won't disturb the session today. So let's begin by just finding a comfortable seat. You as well, please come and find a comfortable seat. And then find your sit bones. So see if you can bring your weight a little bit back into your hips and just notice, where are you usually sitting? So are you someone who finds it a bit difficult to sit straight? And then see if you want to place some pillows or cushion underneath your hips. Maybe you want to sit it a different way. For this beginning, we just want to check in and see how we are feeling right now in this moment. And then see if you want to draw the chin a little bit in and lengthen through the back of your neck. And notice what it's like to sit. If you feel there's a should, have to, obligation to sit really straight and you feel you're pushing somewhere, see if you can soften into just sitting without sort of collapsing into it. Just finding a balanced way for you. And when you're ready and you feel a little more settled, you can close your eyes if they're not already closed. And we begin by noticing how we feel physically. How is the body feeling? What are you noticing and observing? And if there's any tension anywhere that you notice, can you allow that to soften a little bit more? And if anything feels like it's holding on or straining, can you let yourself let go? Or you can allow yourself to let it be. As if you're falling into your seat or softening into it. As if the way you are sitting right now is one of those comfy bean bags that you just sink in. And then notice how you are breathing. And without changing anything, just noticing the quality of your breath. So how you inhale, how you exhale. Is it fast or slow? Is it regular or irregular? Does it make a sound? Do you hear it? Do you hear the breath inside your ears, or is it silent? And also notice the desire to control or change it to something that we feel or think is the right way. Sometimes as soon as we place our awareness on something, there is this shift or the need to change it to something that we deem more desirable or better than. So we lose that little moment of just taking it in and being the witness. So everything in this moment is as it should be. There's nothing you have to change. There's nothing wrong. There's no right way to do anything. You're just taking it all in. And make a little mental note for yourself how you are, what you notice. And also take in any emotions that you're feeling in this present moment. And allow them to be there if that feels safe for you. And you can set an intention for yourself if you like, as an offer, as a check-in with yourself. Bringing the hands to your heart center and lift the heart to your hands. Setting an intention lets our mind focus on a higher path for us, something we desire to achieve, to be. We might also send out energy or love to someone else or something else. And I'll offer an Om to open this session, taking a breath in and then sighing it out, and then inhaling to chant. Slowly releasing the arms and blinking your eyes open. Let's come into our first pose. So from here we're going to just roll ourselves over and come to Anahatasana. So it can be a nice pose to stretch out through the shoulders and the arms. Bring the knees underneath your hips. You might have to pad the knees if you want to. And then start to walk your hands forwards. Now, if you're feeling quite tight in your shoulders, you might want to do one arm at a time, or you can do both arms at the same time. If you're doing one arm at a time, I want to let you know halfway. So start by just lengthening through the arms and thinking that your armpits want to go down towards the floor. So you're keeping the arms straight, and then soften the forehead on the floor. If the forehead doesn't quite go on the floor, maybe you'd like to take a pillow or take a book and then pad it with maybe a towel and bring that underneath your forehead. If you're using one arm at a time, bend maybe first your left arm and then bring your forehead on the arm and stretch the other arm away from you. You can always bring the arms slightly wider. If you want to bend, make sure you're not rotating your shoulders inward. So it's a bit maybe nicer to just do one arm at a time than both arms at the same time. I'll mind the time for you. I'm going to count, breath, and soften here. Try to keep any strain from the neck or shoulders away and allow your heart to sink down towards the floor. If you're quite open in your chest, you might like to try bringing your chin down and looking forward. This is a bit intense for the neck sometimes, so just be mindful of the variation you want to do. So let's begin our practice. Come to stillness and begin to feel the first edge. So noticing when you first feel something like a stretch or release, and breathe into that. Keep your breath steady. Trying to struggle in any position. Let yourself sink into yielding, into letting go. When you notice there's a bit more space, just imagine you're softening into that new space. so if you had one arm out, then change over to the other side. Think of how the heart is opening. Are you creating space in the shoulders? Nearly there. And then taking a gentle breath in. Bending one elbow and then the other. If you had one arm, just come back to a tabletop position. Hands underneath your shoulders. Good. And then gently move through your spine in any way that feels good. So you might like to take little circles with the hips side to side. You might like to take a cat-cow curl, so rounding your back and then arching your back. Just moving gently so that you get a bit of feeling again. And then for the next pose, we're going to go into the lower back, so into the lumbar spine for Sphinx. Now, I can't show low Sphinx anymore because of my baby, but I'll show you an as if. So you will lie on your belly, and I'm doing quite high one at the moment. I'm doing seal, but you can come onto your elbows so that your elbows, I'll do it like this. Imagine this is the floor. So the elbows are underneath your shoulders. So I'm really high now. So make sure your elbows are not too far forward and not too far back. If you are quite open in your lower back, you can come to seal, which is what I'm doing right now, but it's quite a deep lower back stretch. So please only go there if that feels okay for you. Sphinx would look like, so you know, this word there would look like this. So lying on the floor, elbows underneath your shoulders, and then you can interlace the hands if you like. You might even like to bring the hands underneath your chin. So you're lifting up a little bit through the chin, opening the throat. If you feel your lower back still feels a little tender, you might want to place a brick, block or rolled up towel or cushion underneath your lower ribs. So about that space just underneath the sternum. Okay. So we're not staying here too long, so let's get into around 3 minutes. I'm going to come to seal, because that's quite nice for me still. And then settle into this position. So our lumbar spine is meant to be able to hold that pressure. So we're creating strong bone structure with this bit of pressure that you're experiencing in the lower back. It shouldn't be in any way sharp feeling or sensation of twinging. If that's the case, then please come down and just take it very gentle with maybe some support under the chest. And then let your lower back soften into the floor. Sometimes I notice that if I'm feeling a bit tense in the lower back, my glutes start to cramp or pull in and squeeze. So see if you can gently squeeze and release to feel that softening going on in the lower back, in the glutes. Feel how long and heavy your legs are. Notice how your breath is and where your mind is wandering to. See if you can bring it back, if it does, to your breath. If at any point you feel like you want to come a little higher, you can try now. About a minute, well, it's super high for me. You can try to come into the position I, then into seal. This might mean the arms are slightly further forward than me. I'm quite close to my body with my hands. And slowly taking a breath in and then coming down. If you were in seal, come back onto your elbows. If you were in Sphinx, come back onto your stomach. Or you can also tuck your toes. Maybe just roll the hips back and wriggle maybe a little bit out through your hips. You can also do this lying on the floor. Maybe you'd like to come to a child's pose with your knees open, heels and sit bones touching. Maybe you feel a little tender in the lower back, then make fists with your hands and drum out your lower back. That's quite nice to release any tension there or feelings of sensitivity. And then a nice deep breath in, and then from here coming back up. Good. Now just to support our core a little bit, come forward into a tabletop position and just very gently rock a little bit through the lower back. So just the lower back, doesn't have to be a full cat-cow curl, just lower back tilts a little bit. And then from here, coming into either a knee hover, so just for a moment in hovering your knees, drawing your belly button in, just to stabilize the core again. You can also come to a plank and just hold here for a few breaths. So squeezing in your belly or knee hover. Just thinking that you're stabilizing through the whole hip area and your lower abdominals. Deep breath in and slowly release. Come back down. Good, well done. And then from here, let's come to a gentle twist. So breathing in, lengthen your right arm out to the side. Lift your chest a little to the right side. Keep the hand in height of your shoulders. And then slide your right arm through the gap. Let's see how I do this. This way. Slide the arms through the gap. Bring your right to the side of the face, so your temple on the floor. And you can either stay here and just see if you can roll into your right shoulder. Or I like to sometimes bring my arm over my head so I can roll a little bit deeper. Some people like to lift up their arm, which I sometimes find with a strain in my shoulder. Or you can bring the hand behind your back and start to roll over. Another option would be to tuck your left toes and then lift up through your left knee. Now, this is something a little bit called the panda bear because you start to roll over the right shoulder. So you have to find the right edge for this. You might add by bringing the left foot a little bit to the left side, then rolling the right foot in and just finding that little lean into that shoulder. So you might do a little a little wobble, but it's called the panda bear for a reason because sometimes we roll a little bit too much and we roll into
the right shoulder. And sometimes we can reach our left arm up and over. Just find that little twist here. Some people even can go all the way over, twist in the upper body. We're not staying here for long, it's just a little exploration, a little play, little movements here. And then coming back, rolling back down, bring the left knee down, come back up to the tabletop position, take a little wriggle through the spine. Let's do the other side. Bring the left arm out to the side, lengthen through the arm, draw the chest to the left side, and then slide the arm through the gap. Left cheek on the mat, and find your variation. You can absolutely stay here. Just take a few breathers. We're tucking the right toes, lifting the right knee up, bring the right foot to the left hand, and then rotating the arm up and over. Take that lean little movement through the toes. This feels really, hopefully nice in your back. Little play. And then slowly coming back, bring the right leg back, right hand in front of your face. Push the floor away, come back into a tabletop position. And then from here, again a little wriggle through your spine. And let's finish with a nice forward fold in a straddle. So from here, open your legs to the side. Option to just have the knees slightly bent. You can again sit on something, you can hold your ankles, and then just bring the chin to the chest, let your head relax, and hopefully you'll feel a lovely stretch in the lower back. You can take some props like cushion, pillows or bolsters and have them in front of you. You can lean on them. Of course, if you're feeling quite open in the legs, you can straighten out the legs and see if you can lean forward, relaxing the head on your pillows or your cushions. And if you're really quite flexible, see if you feel comfortable with just having your arms forward, noticing where you're trying to sort of pull forward. So you want to just find the right edge again, where you feel you can stay without gripping anywhere. Now I'm a little bit more open in my left leg, so I notice sometimes my chest wants to move to the leg that's a bit more open. So I stay in the middle and feel it then a little bit more intensely in my right side. That's just a little bit of being aware of. Sometimes very subtle. And then noticing your breath. If you feel you've lost that connection, just bring your awareness back. And take those good deep breaths that help you to arrive again and settle. Let everything become soft. Try and relax the muscles and the legs. Really let go of the muscles in your neck. In your shoulders. And anywhere else that are not needed, let those muscles relax. last 3 breaths here. Time to deepen a little bit more, just releasing. And then slowly, as you inhale, start to lift your chest, move it away and back up. If your knees are straight, use your hands to bend the knees in. If the legs were bent already, just bring them a little closer. You can bring your hands behind you and just take a little movement side to side. And let's finish with seated checking in again, so that you can decide how long your shavasana is at the end yourself. So find again a comfortable seat, bringing your hands wherever they fall. If you prefer now lying down, then please do that as well and make it really comfortable for yourself. And then closing your eyes. And notice how long it takes you to settle now. Notice any shifts in yourself, in your breath, in your body. And then place your awareness on your heartbeat. If you like, you can even place a hand there and maybe the other on your belly. And notice your heartbeat. And there were studies about the heart which has a similar structure, or it has a similar ability to think like our brain does. So it has a proportion of neurons that also resonate to what's going on in the body. And the brain and the heart work together. And sometimes when the brain gets stimulation, the heart can say, you know what, no, we don't need that. So when we place our awareness on our heart, the physical heart but also the emotional heart, we can reassure ourselves, we can bring ourselves into a really calm and loving, kind space. So take a few moments to feel your heartbeat. Notice any emotions that come up, any thoughts, any sensations. And just be there for yourself with a hand on the heart, breathing and being. Just breathing slowly in and out. And just feeling that hand on your heart, that reassuring touch. And knowing that you can do this at any time that you feel a little bit uncentered and need a bit of grounding. You can breathe deeply into your heart, ask for guidance from your higher self. And to close, let's just remind ourselves of the intention if we set one, or we can again send out energy or love to somebody or something. You can keep the hands as they are, or bring the hands into Anjali mudra, palms together. Lift the heart to your hands,
Take a breath in and sigh it out. And I close with the mantra on breathing into chant. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in the session. Hope to see you again soon.